Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
Good morning. As we wait for our beautiful Clubhouse crowd to get going, welcome to Friday Training. We've been doing it almost 28 years. It's been next month 28 years. Started these trainings right when I got married, and we've been doing them ever since. We've hit every single week without missing a week. Sometimes it's been on Wednesday, sometimes on Thursdays, most of the times on Fridays, and we're blessed to be here every Friday to pour into our community of people. I want to thank all the people with our pre-launch. Go ahead, Nick, get onto Clubhouse there.
Moan, how we doing, my man? Nick, I just want to tell you something, man. How you show up, how you shine, how you serve, the multidisciplinary skills you have are deliciously beautiful to see and observe. I want you to know that, and I really do mean that. So the mic is yours. Please continue training, but you are one amazing dude.
Thank you, man. Those adjectives, bro, that made my day within itself. So thank you, Ramon. Always sending you love, my friend. And everybody that is here joining us, whether you are online, of course, as we are multicasting everywhere, let alone here in the best room and community on Clubhouse, the Breakfast with Champions. We are here for another edition of David Meltzer's Free Friday training series that he's 27 years, knocking on the door of what is 28 years. And today's training topic is events and experiences are the new engine. So David is going to guide us here for about a little over the first quarter. And then we actually have a special guest that's going to be joining us, and we will open it up for Q&A on the very back half before we wrap up this training. So as always, for everybody, before we get started here, make sure to invite all of your friends, family, colleagues, anybody that would benefit from this incredible conversation. And if you would like to guide an exercise from today's training, just make sure to reach out to David directly, david@dmeltzer.com. And last but most certainly not least, before we get rocking and rolling here, it would not be another Friday training without invitations, but not obligations. As many, if not all of you know, we are on our way to over 200 cities this year alone. Keynote speeches, interviews, forums, community meetups, VIP dinners, masterminds, and so many more. Some of the invitations, but not obligations coming up that we would like to share is, of course, this upcoming Sunday for week 1 of the NFL. We got the Rams versus the Texans mastermind here in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Then it is off to Italy for David as he's going to be hosting a community meetup in a holding court. Then Phoenix, South Dakota, San Diego, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Denver, Los Alamitos for the #1 cheddar, Go Fund Yourself, and another set of filming before then closing out the month in Boise, Idaho. If that is not a lot to keep up with, I do not know what is. That's why we created our text community, so you get the reminders on where we're going to be. Join our text community, which is just 949-298-2905. And without further ado, Mr. Meltzer, kicking it back to you to kick us off with the events and experiences are the new engine training.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And Ramon, just to reiterate the unbelievable Nick of Wam. I just want to know, Ramon, how you know he's delicious, but more importantly, to go eat, and most importantly, he's part of a community, a leader in our community of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. And part of the reason we do over 200 events, TV shows, movies, all the meetups, holding court, speeches, interviews, all the different masterminds, VIP lunches and dinners, and a few breakfasts even once in a while. We cover all the meals. Those experiences and events have changed over the years. And today, with isolation being as it is, our events and experiences are the new engine. And that's why I'm going to cut short my training a tiny bit to bring on, when I'm done, the CEO and the founder of events.com. I figure who knows events better and experiences better than the CEO of events.com. And I'm blessed to be joint forces with unbelievable people, which leads me, before I get started, into our pre-launch of pre-orders. And so we are pre-launching, with the beginning of football season, the launch of Don't Do Business with Dicks. Go to don'tdobusinesswithdicks.com. We'll be launching the book at Super Bowl. So we'll have the 17 weeks and the playoffs to promote the pre-order of Don't Do Business with Dicks at don'tdobusinesswithdicks.com. And we are blessed to have that as part of our events as well. And very good. We will get started now. I want to thank everyone. It is time for events and experiences are the new engine. It's an operating system for community, content, and commerce. And those are the primary focuses of what creates revenue as we're on the road to revenue. In the loudest market in history, events and experiences are the one place you can manufacture focus, intention, engagement on commandments in demand. This training shows how we turn every single event or experience into an operating system for community, content, and commerce. We'll design with the 5 to Thrive of stimulating interest, transitioning interest, sharing a vision, managing and developing that vision so that we can thrive, so that that community of people not only help each other, but know people that will help each other. So our promise is clear and the proof is visible. We'll run the content cadence so the energy converts before, during, and after. Engineering collisions so strangers become partners, monetizing with an ascension ladder that invites, not obligates, those buyers to the next step, and to quantify and measure what truly matters so the follow-up turns momentum into making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun. We treat every event or experience like a compounding asset, not a one-off show. We watch the trust, content, and the cash flow scale in harmony. The first lesson of events and experiences are the new engine. In this noisy market, the most noisy market ever, live moments create finite focus. Attention you can't buy with ads. Done right at the right frequency, events and experiences build a community moat, fuel a content flywheel, and convert with context instead of pressure. No need to oversell, back and sell, lie, manipulate, or cheat. Don't go over it, under it, through it, around it. Don't lie to it, cheat it, manipulate it, or deny it. Simply supply it with your frequency, in person, virtually, at events and experiences. So many founders that I work with host these different salons each quarter, masterminds, speeches, meetups, holding courts. And these rooms create warm introductions, tons of post-production content, short clips for social, and a month or more of qualified opportunities, options, and touches of favor without cold outreach. A guaranteed success by creating a group of people in person that later will communicate on the phone and via text and email and even social in order to facilitate helping one another and knowing people to help one another. You see, nothing will create more abundance in your life than a community of people that want to help you and know people that can help you, that will buy from you and sell for you for life. Events are not a one-off show. They are a recurring system that compounds the trust, the content, and the cash flow. If you take a look at and listen to Mitch Thrower in a bit about events.com, there's no greater portal over platform, no greater place where we can find the frequency and show up to the event and have the experience. Commit to a cadence, a consistent theme. Define your promise for you as an attendee and other attendees. Assign roles of hosts and content lead, community lead, commerce leads. Set a content plan as the first guests arrive by capturing and then distributing and then prioritizing and then executing or redistributing on that option, opportunity, or touch of favor. It is the events and the experiences that are the new engine. Design your own 5 to Thrive system as you create and participate in the events and the experience. Have harmony, clarity, credibility, content, community, and commerce that will turn an expensive event or experience into a profitable platform or profit center. Utilize a go-to-market playbook with a crystal clear promise, a definiteness of purpose and intention with credible partners. Don't do business with dicks. Go to don'tdobusinesswithdicks.com to repurpose the first content plan and engineer these coincidences, the coinciding, the engineered collisions, and stepped off these offers that yield on-site conversion, in person, on the phone, via email and social, starts with the engine, the new engine, events and experiences. If it's not designed to be repurposed, it's designed to be forgotten. And so we need to know how we're going to capture that live event or experience, how we're going to capture that experience or the event, how it'll be modified, amplified, and perpetuated. Get clarity on who it is for and what results they will have. Every mastermind that we did one yesterday at SoFi. The way we start is introductions and objectives, knowing who it is for and what results they will leave with. Utilize credibility. Use anchor partners. Yesterday we had billionaires and millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers all pouring into our community, from the CMO of Skechers to Aloe Black to the CEO or owner of $11 billion company. We're surrounding ourselves with these anchor partners for proof and case studies of credibility. Content, make sure you have it intended shot list, B-roll map, and a clip taxonomy, finalized pre-event, at the event, and post-event. Community, whether it's name tags, table hosts, a capture system, prompts to spark value for value, QR codes, whatever it may be, make sure you ask permission and capture as much of the community's information to continue the communication there further. And then finally, commerce. When you have a mission of clarity, credibility, content, and community, the commissions will follow. Utilize CTAs plus a risk-free starter set of all types of options and opportunities and touches of favor to design your ability to use events and experiences to stimulate interest, transition interest, share a vision, manage and develop that vision, and thrive. Lesson 3, run the PDP cadence, pre, day of, and post. PDP cadence. The cadence converts energy into revenue. Most events fail not on stage, but in the 30 days before and the 90 days after. They don't utilize the PDP cadence of pre-planning, day of, and post-planning, aligned with the AAA strategy of alignment, action, and preparation of adjustments. In the the pre, utilize targeted lists, build the community, and value first sequences. In the D, the day of, utilize emotion, education, and enrollment with a full capture system. And the final P in the PDP cadence system, post. 90-day waterfall of cliffs, content, offers, options, touches of favors, and renewals tied to the attendee and their objective, their definiteness, the purpose, and their intent. Enrollment into events and experiences is a journey. Prime the room before, move the hearts and minds during, and make it effortless to say, yes, I want to be a person to help and know people that can help years after. Utilize all types of pre-activities in person, on the phone, via email, social, and traditional media. Make sure you have a run or show with the capture points, QR, forms, badges, scans, and make sure you have a post-production plan. 13 touch sequences over 90 days, mapped to clips, offers, options, and opportunities as well. The fourth lesson in events and experience is engineer those coincidences, the collisions. Don't hope for them. Know that what you pay attention to and what you give intention to equal the coincidences at every event and experience. Serendipity is manufactured by the universe, targeted and prompt that will turn our strangers into partners, will turn individuals into community. Assign table hosts, have liaisons, pair buyers and builders, script panel placements, deal flow and referrals spike within 48 hours of the event. Have a tight run of show that beats a room full of open minds, open hearts, and open hands that create these bonds built on emotion and facilitated by credibility every time. On the pre-tag attendees, it's the buyers, the builders, media, sponsors, and seat them intentionally. Train table hosts and liaison with simple prompts and utilize 2-minute timers. Schedule collision cues, coincidence cues every 20 or 30 minutes. Capture all introductions of options, opportunities, and touches of favor, and share with the entire group after asking for permission. The fifth lesson is to monetize with an ascension ladder. There's so many different levels of intent required in different steps that a clear ladder maximizes the lifetime value without pressure at these events and experiences. Free value to collect intent, core offer to convert, premium programs to scale, sponsored layers via co-created content and VIP access. Commerce works best as an invitation, not an obligation. Commerce works best as an invitation, not an interruption. Define the rungs, free, core, premium, without understanding and attaching to the outcomes, pricings, and guarantees that you will provide. Place the CTAs at the opening, midpoint, and close, each time getting a closer and closer yes, as well as qualifying the time, emotion, and value of those that are ready. Find a new category, a new event, a new experience for them. Package sponsor segments is values in the experience, in the business development, and the post-production content with panels, spotlights, co-branding clips, etc. Enable instant checkout and signups to join, QR codes, text to buy, and have all risk reversals. Guarantee everything you do. The final lesson within the context of events and experiences of the new engine is to measure what matters and follow up with consistent discipline. What you measure improves, and what you follow up on compounds. And that's the idea of events.com. It allows you to create a measurement of your improvement and also to follow up, because what you measure improves, and what you follow up on compounds exponentially in the direction, the divine direction in which you want to be in, or better. Track the community. Utilize and capture the content and create the commerce. Qualified intros, clips, events, recaps, cap cuts, etc., and on-site conversions are utilized at events by participating in the experience, business development, and post-production content. Speed as a service, and speed is a service. Fast value-led follow-up outperforms perfect decks sent too late. There's no reason with AI not to be quick in turnaround. Same day personalized recaps, top 3 resources are always mentioned within those. 1 week tailored offered with a success story and content and clips. 30-day renewal or referral pathway with VIP invites for future events and experiences, and utilizing a dashboard live by end of day of event by owners assigning each to a KPI of an objective. In conclusion, as I want to bring up my friend, events are no longer a side project. They become your growth engine. When you execute them as a driven system, when you participate them as a platform, we lead with harmony and clarity and credibility. We are able and capable of capturing the room's intention of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe at those events and experiences, with emotion and education, with wisdom and faith. We enroll with context and let the disciplined follow-up do the quiet compounding work. If you commit to a repeatable content cadence, curate collisions and coincidences, stack offers intentionally in a definiteness of purpose, and track the community, every gathering, whether it's in person or virtually, every gathering that we list out at events.com becomes a flywheel that pays you. Your mission will produce the commissions. Pick a date, write your 1-sentence promise, assign owners for content community, and be more interested than interesting while the room does what ads can't. The room will do what ads can't when events and experiences are your new engine, an operating system for community, for content, and for commerce. Anybody would look at the guide, the exercises I've created over events and experiences. If you'd like to contact us about events.com, I'm going to bring on the master of events and experiences, a friend of mine for over a decade. I'm proud to be a part of the journey of events.com and being able to provide and to participate in experiences like none other. I'm going to bring on the incredible CEO and founder of events.com, my friend, Mitch Thrower. Welcome to Friday Training.
Good evening or good afternoon, wherever our people are.
It's all around the world. So we are blessed to have you here, Mitch. And, you know, I'm going to go through the 5 different daily practices I have to truly understand as CEO and co-founder of events.com, what it is that events.com actually does. Obviously, an incredible name speaks for itself. I call it res ipsa loquitur. But what are the values of events.com? The personal values, the experiential values, the giving values, and of course, the receiving values, because as I am participating, it is one of the best economic opportunities as well for so many of us, which is why I want to give some great exposure. But what is the what of events.com?
At our core, we're built to spark human connections through shared experiences and, you know, helping people create, promote, discover, and make the most of every event really is kind of what drives us. If you break it down into the most simple form, think about us in 2 ways. On one hand, we help event organizers and experience organizers manage, market, and monetize those experiences, saving time and making more money. And on the other hand, we help people discover, interact, and transact with the things they love to do.
It is incredible. And personally, what does it mean to you as your mission?
You know, I believe, I'll tell you a funny story. My son, who was 7 at the time, you know, I asked him, I said, Finn, do you remember what that event we went to and what happened? And I mentioned the area and he said, oh, Dad, we did this. And this is what happened. And this is what I saw. And this is who was on. And I asked him, what did we do 3 days before that? And he said, I have no idea. So the events that we experience or produce for other people to experience really become the indelible moments in our lives. It's one of the reasons why this continued shift of pattern of purchase is moving from things and possessions and items that you buy, hold, forget, and break, to things that you experience and remember forever. It's kind of ultimately entrepreneurship in a box. So, you know, living in a world where we're, you know, blessed and grateful to be able to assist with making more indelible moments becomes something that's enormously personally valuable and something that is, you know, I feel honored to be, you know, shepherding.
And you've done such a great job in shepherding it. And it's so interesting because, as you know, I lost over $100 million in 2008. And I used to joke around, not too much of a joke, but I would buy things I didn't need to impress people I didn't like. And one of the things that softened the economic loss was that I did spend some of that money on some incredible experiences. The Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, the Masters, the Kentucky Derby, the Breeders' Cup, the ESPYs, the Emmys, the Oscars, the Grammys. Now, these are some of the biggest events in the world. I also had community breakfasts. I've had meetups and holding courts and other things, all which are there to experience on events.com. The biggest events in the world are owned by events.com, as well as David Meltzer's meetup can be found on events.com. But it's funny because that softens the blow that I was able through my monetary gain to have those experiences and participate in some of the biggest and best events with the people that I did like or love. And we talk about our children, and I've been blessed to go to several things. Now, as we look at those personal values, experiential values, there's also the giving value. And there's a lot of things that events.com does for charity, for philanthropy, but also just as a business, the economic gain that it provides as an investment. What are some of the areas that you see events.com in the giving values that are portrayed in the business and outside the business?
Well, at the core, saving an event organizer time is something that, I mean, what is one of the most valuable things you can give to people is time. We only get a limited quantity, and when you're spending time on things you don't need to spend time on, if you're a normal, typical event organizer, sometimes you're using upwards of 5, 10, 15 different technologies, one for event ticketing, one for marketing. You have to figure out something to do with virtual. You have to try and figure out sponsorship. Usually you're using a spreadsheet. So by helping event organizers consolidate what they're working on onto one platform and increasingly adding modules, which are modular, people can use just one part and not the other, they're able to save an enormous amount of time, which then contributes back to their life. And by helping the entrepreneurs of the world create events, you're stimulating the economy. You're helping people create their livelihoods. Entrepreneurship, you know, events are like it's like sea monkeys for entrepreneurship, where, you know, just add water, which is just add your idea, you know, create an event. And I'm oversimplifying here, because if you want to do it right, you obviously will think it through, similar to many of the things you were talking about earlier. But you can have an idea, sell tickets, have an idea, sell sponsorship, have an idea, sell membership, have an idea, sell you can sell premium benefits, you can sell brand. You've created something out of thin air. There hasn't been a nail hammered into a building to build, to own forever. It is something that, you know, it's manufactured instant entrepreneurship. So now those two things are really important for us, which is giving people back time on the event organizer side, and on the event participant side. Another piece that we're really excited about, which is very data focused, which is hotels.com is where you can find all of your hotels in any city. New York, you can find a restaurant on Yelp. Most of what you watch will be served to you algorithmically on Netflix, or what you're trying to buy served to you algorithmically on Amazon. And in our world, we will be able to now show you everything to do around you, customized to you, Netflix style, when you download the events.com app, which will be in test cities coming up in about a month. And you will be able to find every single thing to do around you, custom to you. So again, back to the theme of saving you time. If Uber removed the friction between you and where you want to go, events.com is removing the friction between you and the things you love to do, and the people you love to do those things with, in a way that I think people will be quite amazed by when they're able to touch that part of our business. Of course, the enterprise part of our business is up and running and multilingual and multi-currency, but, you know, giving people time and giving people experiences and making it easier to produce experiences, making it easier to experience events and experiences, it's a very rewarding loop, because, you know, you see these things coming online on a daily basis that, you know, one of the things, even in the event business, and I've been in the event business for a while with different ventures over the history, but when you see the amazing things that people do when they gather and get together, it's very rewarding. You think, wow, that's an interesting topic.
It's the coincidences that I look for. Now, beyond the what has attracted me to events.com is the who. Not only the leadership that you have built, and we'll start with the who of the most important type, which is financial backing.
Yeah.
Of all the opportunities that I'm involved with, both personally and professionally, as an investment, is probably the most financially backed, which mitigates risk in the investment itself. Give me a little bit of a background of that financial backing that you have. How much money have you guys raised, and why is this such a secure venture beyond the business model? Because there's a million great ideas. There's not a million great domains like events.com. That domain's worth millions, but beyond the domain and beyond a million great ideas comes some financial security that's necessary.
Yeah, I think having been through the world of private equity, venture capital, private investors, with events.com, we took a different tact. We raised over $175 million from private investors, strategic investors, large families on a global basis, which include everyone from Marco Landi, the former president and COO of Apple Europe, Bill Troze from Cypress Ascendant, Eric Schmidt's family office, the former chairman of Google, Tomorrow Ventures, Dr. King, Bernice King, who's Martin Luther King's daughter. What an unbelievable human being, working on some incredible things. For me, the gentleman who was on the board of directors of my first computer back in the Jurassic period called the Commodore 64, Harry Copperman, was on the board of AOL and Commodore. He's on our Gap Structure. We've got Alex Helm from Gabelli. I mean, the list goes on. It's Calvin Johnson. People probably remember Megatron. What an unbelievable athlete. Tony Hawk. What an incredible athlete. Pamela Mollenhoff. She was maybe one of the very first contributing investors into Salesforce. John Horger out of machine learning at Microsoft. Raj Doshi out of Google. Billy Gerber from Warner Brothers. Conrad Riggs, who spent a bunch of time at Amazon. You know, it was a really robust push. You know, so it's everyone from Gandhi's grandson to the former CFO of Apple. You know, it's just a really great group of people and entrepreneurs out there that are looking to capitalize their business. I highly recommend the path where you pursue working with people who also can help the business. I know it's kind of, said all the time when you're in the room with people who want to invest that we can help you, but you can get hundreds of investors and you'll probably be able to count on your hand the number of people who will actually roll their sleeves up to help you. So we were very fortunate being in the position to be able to connect with investors that we had invested with prior ventures and that had levers to pull to really, as events.com moves to the next chapter, are able to do some phenomenal things for the business. But that's the core on the capital side. We've executed a $200 million facility for our listing as well, because we're pursuing the public path, as you know, and we're excited to again have the right people behind events.com on the capital side and on the management side.
Yeah, it's one of the most stellar teams and fueled teams as you are preparing for that big day. You're proven to have an extensive software platform that's built for scale. You've been scaling it faster than I can keep up with. But you have a lot of different projects and news, some that can be said and some that can't. So my question will be to let you flow. What can you tell us about some of the bigger opportunities that are in the future that we'll see with events.com, which is why I want to participate in every aspect as an advisor, investor, partner, speaker, event planner, whatever else I do. I want to all in on events.com. The thing you tell us today to help give us great clarity in the trajectory of events.com.
I can share a few things that are public. Obviously, there's certain things that we're unable to share at this point until they're announced publicly. First, on the acquisition side, events.com during the pandemic, when the event world fell apart, really because not only because we were backed privately, but just based on the ethos of never waste a crisis in life. always learn from it, plan for it, work your way through it. We started acquiring businesses during the pandemic. Now we're sort of 10 acquisitions post-pandemic, efficiently going through those acquisitions. So as our path continues, our growth, most businesses will grow organically through partnerships and through acquisitions. In our world, it's kind of let's circle all three and do as much of that efficiently as we can. We just recently acquired the Summit Series, which people may have heard of. It's an invitation-only event that shares the likes of Sir Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos and Malcolm Gladwell, and you've had an amazing group of events, over many, many years that they've produced worldwide. And those events have contributed to a wonderful number of lives. Many of the first checks that were written into several of the largest tech ventures that were actually written at Summit. We've also acquired companies like Remo. Remo is a next generation interactive online event platform. Many people here may have used Remo, where you go and you can walk up to the table and talk to people at the table. And our clients there include, Google and Shopify and MIT and Harvard and Princeton and Lufthansa Airlines. And so those are two, kind of notable acquisitions. There have been more that people can read about online. And in terms of things that we've published recently, which people could kind of read the tea leaves, if you will, we did publish the second URL in our fold when it comes to large brands. Because if you think about hotels.com, that's where you find all the hotels. That's where you manage the hotel. If you have a hotel and I say come and claim your hotel on hotels.com, it is highly probable that you'll come and claim it and develop a relationship with hotels.com. It's the same is true with events.com. So we're really fortunate to have that brand. And David, we acquired it from CBS. It was originally owned by Bill Gross from Idealab, not PIMCO, and Bill Gross sold it to CBS, and we were able to acquire it from CBS. But we were missing something, because if you look at all the things you do, you wouldn't buy your cruise ship at events.com. You wouldn't purchase your maybe kids' yoga class or camp at events.com. I mean, you might. Or travel, restaurant, all of the turnstile revenue items, etc. So we have published the site that was acquired called experiences.com. If you want to sit on top of the experience economy, you want to also own the word that represents the experiences that people have around the world. So, people can go there today, they can sign up on experiences. Well, you can see all of the actual technology on events.com. You can also go to experiences.com and note that everything that's happening in the world of events and experiences, hotels is the hotels, Airbnb is the apartments, events is all the events, and experience is all the experiences. And they're two massive markets, with the event really market looking to be closing in on $1 trillion TAM, or total addressable market, and then the experiences in global total addressable market in kind of the 4 trillion plus range. They're just two great spaces to be in. So David, we're really, really excited about getting into what we're offering, and we're offering an awful lot on events.com already. People can go and manage their sponsorships, manage their everything from ticketing to marketing, etc.
Yeah, it's really incredible as I've done my due diligence in understanding the global impact of domains attached to good leadership and great companies. And when you look at the global brands like hotels.com, realtor.com, cars.com, the four things that they have in common with events.com and experiences.com, coming from someone that does 200 or more a year, is one, better than ever, they define the category in which they compete. Two, they have such a strong underlying business model, which has been proven by the economic support and performance of events.com. They have a well-funded underlying technology, that platform that's been created, but they all, by the way, are worth billions. In fact, when Gannett acquired Cars.com through this Extreme Outlier, they valued just the domain, by the way, they valued just the domain Cars.com, which for its category is valuable, just like events.com. I think there's as many cars as there are events, but they value just the domain at $872 million. I'm just curious, for an investor today, what's the valuation today for an investor today?
Yeah, so David, I'll break it down for existing investors. So technically, we are in our pre-IPO phase. We have entered into a wonderful agreement with Bob Diamond, the former CEO of Barclays, and a path to go public. We were able to.
Can you mention the new ticker that you're trying to get?
Yes.
Yeah,
we have.
That blew me away. You guys,
Yeah.
you're the king of names. Like, I can't believe you got it.
Yeah, we are very fortunate that we were, again, blessed with a ticker symbol that we were able to secure. And, when you think about what's the best ticker symbol for events.com and experiences.com, we were able to secure RSVP.
That is awesome.
So it was a really wonderful thing for us. But, to give you a quick snapshot too of what we did during the pandemic, we approached our existing investors and their friends and family. And we, during that time, because it was the pandemic, we discounted our share price from $3 through a convertible note to $1.50 a share when we were doing that cap raise. And that was what we were able to, circle our existing investors and garner 3 oversubscribed rounds during that period as a part of our $175+ million raise. And the existing investors and their friends and family have always been drawing allocations. And, you have the David allocation that you have as an existing investor, which is at that $1.50 price, which was actually technically pandemic pricing. So it's not an open raise. It's just people who are in the friends and family and a part of the pre-IPO or like yourself and your associates, David, are able to participate in that round, which was effectively discounted through the.
My community can participate in that round.
Correct. Anyone who's sort of given that, anyone who's approved, they have to come in through an approval of this is a part of my actual community. It can't be someone that isn't a part of your community. They have to be directly affiliated.
Okay. Well, they can reach either to me, David at dmeltzer.com. Can they reach directly out to you, or should they go through me?
They could reach directly through me. My email is mitch@events.com. Of course, it will get processed by me. But Marin will help with the processing, because there's a very large volume of emails that we're dealing with as we're getting the company ready for our public path.
Incredible. All right, we have Nick of WOM, the well-oiled machine, who we both adore, and it seems like the people on Ramon and Scott Simons, they called him Delicious this morning. I call him the Nick of WOM because he's a well-oiled machine. I have a lot of people that have now tons of questions. I'm sure. Would you be able to stay on for the last quarter and answer some questions?
Of course, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, so mitch@events.com. Or if you feel more comfortable talking to me, David at dmeltzer.com. I want to say thank you for offering that to our community, Mitch. Like, super generous. I may double down on my own commitment. I keep learning more and more things, and I get super excited. So anyways, Nick of WOM, are you there, my friend? Oh, maybe not. Well,
if I could unmute.
Is this your first time? Is this your first time emceeing?
First time on Clubhouse. Yeah, I know. It's the first go around. Let's all throw some shade. I love it. But listen, I am absolutely glued to my seat here because you gentlemen continue to amaze, whether it's events.com, experiences.com, and what is all to come in the future. And now as we open it up for Q&A for everybody that's joining us on the webinar, just as a reminder, make sure to put your questions into the chat. And then for everybody that's here on Clubhouse, which is the best rooming community, that is in the Breakfast with Champions, the best rooming community on Clubhouse, please just use the hand icon to request to join the stage, and we will, of course, bring you up. Gentlemen, our first question of the day, we have the lovely Colleen, who is waiting patiently here on Clubhouse. So Colleen, please unmute yourself and kick us off with the first.
Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you, David, Mitch, for your time this morning. I can't wait to hear more about the events.com opportunity. I'm really excited to hear about that. There's so much to be said about the time, emotion, and value that goes into all of the events that are either hosted up on events.com or curated by Dave. And so my question is really about the investment that people make in getting to these events. They invest in it, they show up, they either maybe work the room or they don't work the room. And then afterwards they have this momentum, but they don't have a follow-up system. And I know both of you have great follow-up systems that have been, curated and created to make sure that the time, emotion, and value is provided X-fold after these events. So can you talk to us a little bit about what you guys do to help with follow-up for all the attendees after these events?
Well, I'm going to let Mitch answer how the platform allows the most critical conversion of an event, which is follow-up. So what are some of the capabilities that are provided by events.com, not just in the notification of the events, but the follow-up?
Yeah, this is an area where if you look at an event organizer's job or a community activity organizer's job, it starts at the beginning, which is, how do you engage the largest community? How do you get to the significant number of people and organizations? And our technology powers things like media sites. So if you go to the event section of NewYork.com and you look at their event calendar, that is powered by events.com. So we are the intel inside media sites, event calendars, and then inside that, you have the capacity to promote your event, and you can promote your event through the events.com ad exchange. So you can, within a series of clicks, get a recommended budget. We will suggest through AI where you should be marketing that event for your follow-up on the people that you're marketing your event to. We'll even run the ads, create the ads for you. So, within a few clicks, you can do something that would have cost you thousands of dollars for a few $100s. So the efficiency of first, again, at the beginning, getting to the people you want to get to come to your event, which is at some time, a challenge for event organizers. They have to hire a social media manager, a marketing manager. They have to find someone to do their calendaring platform. The getting to the right people is the first step, and we help event organizers with that quite a bit, either under the events.com brand or sometimes under a white labeled brand where we'll just say powered by events.com. Then, of course, when you're going through, whether it's the onboarding or the ticketing or the registration, there's many things you do, again, for the follow-up, whether it's, tools to access, abandoned carts, or whether it's a marketing consultancy to say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Most events don't run like their IMG or creative artist events or events that are run by large organizations worldwide. They run in the mid-market and in a little bit of a happenstance. So by professionalizing the way those organizations are able to approach their consumers as they come through their ticketing and registration, you have things, whether it's abandoned cart or adding merchandise or simplifying the fact that you can add insurance and turn on an insurance module so that if someone doesn't make it, oh, by the way, they'll be offered an insurance product. I might not be able to make it. You've seen this in travel insurance. That's just a module that an event organizer will turn on. And then at the event, which is I think really where the heart of your question lied, and post-event, really having the tools to follow up, either through invitation tools, communication tools, or if it's to do a new event simply and, replicate and repeat, rinse and repeat is a great way to engage people. But people who are in the event business, one of the things I try and share is you're not definitively and only in the event business. You are in the business and the brand business. You've created a brand. People think about an event sometimes like a shooting star. And our role at events.com is to take your shooting star and turn it into a bright, shining star that builds value for you and your participants all year long. And there are several things we can do. Probably don't have time to dive in on those. And, just maybe your strategies are, look at your event. I'll give one tip. There's a very large athletic event. I can't share the name that won enormously with sponsorship. And one of the tools that we've done for them, which is not necessarily exclusive to events.com, but we have a very unique way of doing it, is at the registration. They made one change and their sponsorship exploded through the events.com toolset. Is they added a special part of the forum which collected people's data on their title and role and company. Now that sounds simple, but suddenly when they saw the director of sponsorships, the US Navy, as one of the participants who was passionate about the event, because where is your most appropriate place to look for sponsors if you own a marathon or a conference? It's your attendees. And there were so many events that didn't capture what people were actually doing and monitoring it and linking it back, or at the event, allowing people. We have a tool, an AI matchmaking tool through our virtual events, which can connect people to other people. But it's really interesting to think. So please take that, use that, harvest the people who are coming to your event as potential sponsors, and that will, I think, be a true help. And there's many other strategies and techniques that if people have events, feel free to reach out as well, and we'll get you to the right people to figure out if there's things we can do to help.
Well, many, many years ago, I tried to purchase a marathon here in Southern California. I got outbid because the registrants, and this is my first exposure to events.com, were all high net wealth women. And the amount of sponsorships now this marathon also took place on Super Bowl morning, tie in my representation of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Hall of Famers, and give a bunch of extended or amplified value to that. A lot of people are re-asking again about your extremely generous offer in pre-IPO family and friends round. Mitch has allowed anyone who's part of our network that I verify as part of our network can participate in the family and friends round for the pre-IPO. They raised $175 million already. They are already, their reserve ticker symbol RSVP. So keep your eye on that. I just want to make sure everybody that's in the notes here, I can see they missed the offer, didn't get it all. So, and it's in events.com, which owns experience.com as well, experiences.com. There's so many different aspects, and they'll send you a whole deck, etc. Just email Mitch at events.com or me, of course, David at dmeltzer.com. All right, Nick, let's take another question. Maybe someone has a question about the opportunity, Nick, that Mitch has provided for us. I know some of my employees have already asked me. Does that mean me too, David? Yes, that means you guys as well. So of all of our network, Nick, who's up next?
Absolutely. We have a very special treat as we got the Meltzer double, no family affiliation, but kindred spirits nonetheless. We got Eric Meltzer. Eric, my friend, happy Friday. I see you here on Clubhouse. So mute yourself and keep us rolling with the next question.
Eric Meltzer, the big family office guy. What do you think of this deal, bro?
Yeah, right. I know. What are the minimums,
Good question. Mitch, is there a minimum?
Yeah, David, I'll leave that to your team. For us, there's a certain thing, it is, from a paperwork perspective where it's, thresholded, but, I'll leave it to you for your team to,
Sure.
figure
And
out
Eric,
what that
we might
minimum
want
would
to
be.
get an SVP. We might want to get an SVP on this one, something that you can organize, because I know I got a ton of people that want to go in.
Oh, yeah. No, that sounds really cool. But aside from that, I actually have, it's a two-part question, one part for you, Dave, and then one part for Mitch. And so, Dave, one of the things you always talk about is curating the room for all of your networking dinners and events. And so I would love to know, your thought process for doing that. And then on the events.com side, I would love to know how that aligns with Dave's rationale.
Yeah. So just real quickly, just to remind everyone, that's what the training is about, right? The community first, then it's content, then it's commerce. And so when you're providing value of experience, business development, and post-production content, you can see the similarities and synergistic ways that Mitch and I do it at a much smaller scale. And now I'm going to be able to scale it even bigger, because as a strategic partner, investor, participant, all the different things I want to do, I'm going to be integrating everything I do and everyone I do it with events.com from the ground up. But Mitch, how do you work within the context of community, in content, and of course, commerce?
Yeah, I think there's an attraction component to what it is that you're doing that is an enormous part of curating the right community. Attention science leads you to have the tool sets, especially now enabled with the various artificial intelligence tools that either we offer or you use online, for you to understand what it is that you should produce to attract a certain curation of attendee. Because one of the great things about events is what experience people are having with the people who they are with at the event. And of course, we are a technology company first and foremost, where we power event technology and we power tools for consumers to find events. As a secondary part of our business, or really kind of a, test our own technology and allow us to have marketing assets that are revenue generating rather than cost generating, we do own some events. So we own the Temecula Balloon and Wine Festival, which I know, David, we went to, which is a wonderful festival, one of California's oldest festival. We purchased the Wonderfront Festival, which is kind of a Coachella and Burning Man type event right there on the waterfront in San Diego. We own the La Jolla Concourse, which is a car show. And so as we go through how do you curate the right people, the first is programming. You want to put the right things together that will attract the right people. The second is your marketing. You have to treat your marketing as if it's a red rope, because you're not just looking, well, it depends on your event. Some people might be doing an online event where it's about eyeballs. But for interactions with people, where people are connecting with people, you really want to use red rope strategies and red rope currency to make sure that you have the right people in the room, in the festival, in the class, and there's a lot to that. But many people just go about it happenstance and don't even think about it. So the question is great, because it unpacks a whole host of things that you can do as an event organizer. But the first is to pay attention and to understand. So it's not just like audiences. It's people that you want to have that are a part of what you're producing to enhance the experience for the people that they're around. So hopefully that's helpful. And there are, if people do have events and they want to, jump on with a team member and really dive in there, we could do some more of that.
And we are going to ask for permission, and I'm doing it here in the last minute. I'm blown away by your generosity of including my neighborhood, my community, my network in this opportunity. I wasn't expecting that. I feel very abundant now, because I always feel guilty when I'm in a deal at a family and friends pre-IPO, and then it's like, why didn't you tell me about it? Well, I can't really do that. I'm not a broker dealer. I don't have that power. But Mitch, do I have permission to, under the context of community, content, and commerce, do I have permission to cut up some of these videos and offer it to my entire community? Which, by the way, just it is millions of people. Do I have your permission to cut it up and give that offer even to people that aren't in attendance right now? There are hundreds of thousands that watch the replay. We have over 130,000 registered for today to watch the training that I do. But I have your permission to extend it to anyone that's not here.
You do. So, David, you effectively have an allocation that you're able to distribute. Now, it's not an unlimited amount. So, I suspect, depending on appetite and interest, there are some timing issues there, and there's a cap there that obviously.
Okay. Well, I'll let people know that, we don't have, it's limited. So go ahead and reach out to me or you directly. If you are part of our network or community, I highly suggest you do your due diligence and learn about this exciting, fun, totally aligned with what I do. I couldn't think of a better business, other than giving.com, and they haven't reached out to me. I can't think of anything that aligns gratitude.com, giving.com, and events.com. That would be davemeltzer.com. But that's super cool. David at dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com, or mitch@events.com. If you have any questions about the events they own, they do, the platform, or the generous offer that I have an allocation for, I will share that allocation with everybody. So please email us. We will do this again. We got many other shows to put you on. I look forward to seeing you at our next event. I look forward to speaking at events and putting my events as well offered on events.com. You're amazing. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful wherever you are, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. And give it a big hug.
I love you, man. Thank you. Once again, mitch@events.com. Check it out. They own the category. Very, very rare. Mitch, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you soon, David. Take care.
Awesome. All right, Nick of WOM, you close out Clubhouse. I'll close out all the other platforms. Once again, david@dmeltzer.com, mitch@events.com. Nick of WOM, close out the room. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. What a surprise. I did not know they were going to let me use an allocation for everyone in our group. That's super cool. Anyway, david@dmeltzer.com. Let me review where I'm going to be. Speaking of events and experiences are the new engine. SoFi Stadium for the home opener mastermind at SoFi. I'll be in Italy doing meetups and holding courts. Got a couple also interviews. Phoenix, Arizona, Rapid City, South Dakota, San Diego, California. Hopefully I'll see Mitch and team down there at the Restaurant 365. I'm keynoting huge event down there in San Diego. Indianapolis, Minneapolis at Aspire Tour with the Sharks and Goggins and all the greats. I'm blessed to be on that tour at Aspire. We're going to put up our Aspire events. Go Fund Yourself, #1 show on Cheddar. We'll be filming in Los Alamitos. And then over to Boise, Idaho, keynoting the 831B conference as well. That's just literally the next few weeks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in 17 days. That's how you get to 200. All right, everyone, please, if you can't keep up with me, just go to events.com or text me directly, 949-298-2905. If you'd like to take a piece of action, go ahead, email mitch@dmeltzer.com or mitch@events.com. Remember, most importantly, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace. Hit it, Gigi.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs, so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.